I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, but in all those interactions over the 10 years, did you ever see Trump at any of these parties?
Found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise. Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released.
$100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Warriors, we have got to talk about the fact that we have a Jeffrey survivor. You know the whole island thing. This is some epic news, not brand new news, but just in case you missed it, we're going to show that to you today. And plus, it has been revealed, the money trail to Antifa. All things lead to the money. You know what they say, show me the money. This is a bombshell. That's what I'll be talking about today on Check With Me, Linda B. All right, Warriors, you know what to do. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications. Stick around to the end. Let's go. Wow, wow, and more wow. All right, I got a few things to share with you. You already heard about it, you guys. You're going to want to stick around to the very end to hear this, okay? And I'm going to try and remember to put the links in the description box below. Guys, it's hard to even know where to begin. But I'm going to start off with the island, with J.E. Jeffrey, the whole thing with Ghislaine and all the girls and all of that kind of stuff. This is coming by way of Young Turks, okay? But before I show you that, I want to show you a brief clip during that Senate Judiciary hearing with Pam Bondi. Of course, she is the Attorney General. So I want you guys to listen to this. Stick around. This is really good.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Do you know if the FBI found those photographs in their search of Jeffrey Epstein's safe or premises or otherwise? Have you seen any such thing?
You know, Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants, I believe, I could be wrong, correct me, Reid Hoffman, who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein? Come on.
The question.
Well, you know, Pamela Bondi, she got a little bold, didn't she? We need to call her Bond. Drop the I. Pam Bond. What's your name? Bond. Pam Bond. I mean, wow, she just called him out and the man sitting next to him. Girl, Blondie Bondi, you are a trip. Okay, I just wanted to play that because I thought that was one of those epic moments. But let's just get into this whole Young Turks. And they are another YouTube channel, and you guys can check them out. They're liberal. If you can stand anything they got to say, they are liberal. Okay, so I want to play this little clip, a couple little clips, and you guys, I really want you to stick around and give me your comments below.
That wasn't the main setup. So the idea of a client list is not actually a physical thing where somewhere we're going to find this list and it's sort of, you know, you unroll the scroll and it goes all the way down to the floor. There are a few people. I think the main thing to think about here is not so much a client list, although yes, we would love for those men to be held accountable, but it's more the people who enabled this. And this is like,
I just want to stop it right here. I have to stop intermittently because of copyright. But so she said that there is no physical client list. So that, you know, I mean, I know that President Trump said that there is no list, and people were thinking you're just saying that because you have something to do with it. But this is a survivor. Her name is Anuska De Jojo. I'm hoping I said that correctly. Anuska. Okay. And she was involved with this whole thing for, she said, according to her, 10 years. Okay. And she said it's not so much a physical client list, making it seem like there is no client list. Okay. And people were like, but there's a client list, a client list, a client list. Okay. But let's get into the real meat of this whole entire conversation, which has more to do with the fact of, was President Trump involved? They asked about Bill Clinton. Okay. So let's just take a watch, sit back, relax, enjoy.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, but in all those interactions over the 10 years, did you ever see Trump at any of these parties?
I didn't see Trump at any of the parties. I was introduced to Trump by Ghislaine Maxwell at a party in Manhattan when I was about 20 years old. And this is something that's been documented, in fact, by the Mirror, which ironically used to, well, or maybe not ironically, was owned by Robert Maxwell.
So she admits that he was not at any of the parties. She was introduced to Trump at a New York, Manhattan event, not under the ground somewhere or behind the closet or in some dark, creepy place. Okay. Not on an island, not somewhere else. Okay.
And the article describes incorrectly a bunch of things that happened subsequently. And I mean, for clarity, I'm interested in the truth. Whether or not the truth suits my narrative, I'm here for the truth.
Right.
And there was a lot of misinformation within that article. And in that situation, I was very much brought to Trump as some kind of offering by Ghislaine Maxwell, like setting up like a date, right?
Okay, so she's getting into this whole thing about she was offered to Trump as a date. Now listen to what she says. Okay, listen to what she says. And I also want to point out that she was bringing up this article that had a lot of misinformation in it. This is why I tell y'all, and President Trump has said this a lot of times, fake news, fake news, fake news. A lot of that stuff, when you deal with the media, they spin things. And they have control to manipulate people emotionally, but they don't put things in there accurately. They want to spin it because they want that juiciness and that salaciousness, whatever you want to call it. And I know someone personally with the local media in my town, and they say they always spin it. And he doesn't even want to talk to them because they always spin what he says.
Trump did not behave in any way inappropriately with me.
Okay. How about Bill Clinton? Any interaction with him?
I didn't have interaction with him, but whether it was like he's coming to Palm Beach or he's coming to stay at the island. In fact, when I was on the island, Jeffrey and Ghislaine both told me like, oh, you're staying in the room that Bill likes.
I had to stop it, y'all, because it's kind of lengthy, but if you want to go back and look at it, you can check it out yourself. But now that's different information when it comes to Bill Clinton, guys. You know, they got some photograph of some painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress that was supposedly the dress Monica Lewinsky wore with some red heels. And I'm just like, I'm not saying that is even accurate. I'm just, that's what's out there. Okay. These people allegedly are freaky. But she said that Bill has been to that island, and this is the room that Bill likes. Bill likes, he likes this room. Is he like a frequent visitor? I mean, that's what it sounds like when it comes to Bill Clinton. She said that she didn't know anything about Trump doing anything based on her experience. Okay, she can only go by her experience. She can't negate anything else that might have gone on. So far, no one has come up with any definitive proof that Trump was involved in any wrongdoing. All they can come up with is some pictures of him at Jeffrey Epstein in New York at a party, or maybe at Mar-a-Lago at Trump's place. That's it. And then later he banned Jeffrey from Mar-a-Lago. That's all they can come up with. They want so desperately for Trump to have been involved in something horrible that they don't know what to do with themselves. Now, also in this particular segment, they were saying that, you know, there's people on both sides. The belief is that there are people on both sides of the political aisle that were caught up in some wrongdoing. I'm going to say allegedly. But so far, Trump, no definitive evidence of any wrongdoing by him. But on the other hand, when it comes to Bill Clinton, you're getting something else. He was on the plane going to the island. He's got a favorite room that he likes and all these other things. Now, I can tell you who was not on that island. And you looking at her. I was not there. Okay. My husband wasn't there. We weren't there. Okay. We don't have anything to do with that. I don't even know where the island is. But anyway, guys, let's get into some real big stuff. Okay. We got to talk about how this money trail with Antifa, oh my gosh, guys, this is huge. Now, here I want you to take a listen. I'm not going to interrupt, but this is major. Watch.
This is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story. And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex, Riot Inc. And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros network, the Open Society network, it's other funding networks, the Arabella funding network, the Tides funding network, Neville Roy Singham and his network, Foreign Cash. And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country. Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about what we call Riot Inc. Number one, like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible. But it does have those investors that I mentioned. Number two, we have identified dozens of radical organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, et cetera. And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks, including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money. So one other thing, this money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms. These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association, and just because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms, are funded by this network that we call Riot Inc. So again, I want to thank you for your leadership, for the whole cabinet's leadership on this. We're going to keep following the money and appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know the names? Because if you do, I'd like you to give them to Cash or Pam.
Absolutely.
Or Christy.
Yeah, we'll do that.
As soon as you can. That's all of you. Because you probably know the names after a certain period of time. You tend to find out. But these are people that do not have good intention for the country, and that's treasonous probably. So if you could, very important, if you could do that, it would be great. Nobody would know better than you. You'll figure it out.
Wow. Can you believe that? Open Society, yes. Georgie Porgy. That's who I call GS. You know his son, Alex. I don't like saying their last names, okay? Just so you guys know why I do what I do. Millionaires, billionaires, these very rich people, not just in America, in other countries. And they're getting money from taxpayers. So the Billionaire Club and taxpayers. I don't want my money going to foolishness like that. This is about to go down in an epic way. They know where the money is. They've traced the money. Show me the money. They know exactly who is funding this. And he has more information to give to Pam Bondi, Attorney General, and FBI Director Kash Patel. Woo! Gee, wonder what these demon rat folks are out here going to do. You guys you just messed up. You gonna FAFO. If I ever seen or heard of an FAFO, it's going to be you. You might as well wear you a t-shirt, all you evil folks out there doing stuff like this that says I FAFO'd. Okay, just go ahead and get you a t-shirt made. Yes. But this is epic. This is really, I don't think we understand how big this is. President Trump literally is strategically, in my opinion, by the power of Almighty God, dismantling the evil powers that be that work in the background that's behind all of this satanic BS. They want to push this stuff off onto our children. They've even perverted not only the schoolhouses, they've perverted the churches. This is how bad it is. This is how they want our society to be. The evil folks in the background, they want a genderless, godless, no family, confusion, wide open border, and a lot of crime. That's what they want. And they want us submitted in total subjugation to them. That is what they want. I don't know how this is going to play out. I know, I talk about the end of the world and all that stuff like that. We'll just have to see. Well, things are going to get bad at some point. We just got to face it. But I'm just praying the Lord just hold it off for a while. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you're right with the Lord, let it be what it be. Chips fall where they may. But I thank you all so much for supporting me on this channel. It really means a lot. Please do me a favor and give me that thumbs up. It really helps my videos go out farther into YouTube. Comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and hit that all notifications bell. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.